Hello, Las Vegas, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of Golf at the Park, Angel Park's weekly podcast interview show. I want to thank you for tuning in, subscribing, liking, commenting on the episodes. We really appreciate it. I want you to check all of the links below, including where you can book tee times and go to our website. And the link to our competitive tour, the Heavenly Tour, is also listed right below that link. Today's show, we want to welcome back due to editing difficulties on my part. Welcome back to the show, Kyle Kavanagh.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I gotta thank you for getting the PR team's note. Deleting the old episode, it wasn't to the quality we needed.
So we're into August now, and I've had three different times of editorial errors, either not recording sound or, in this latest case, botching the file transfer. So yeah, I'm learning still.
I'm honored. Big three.
Yeah,
One of them.
It's going to be fun. So let's go to the beginning. Tell us how golf came into your life.
Yeah. Oh, it's so funny. We're right back into it. I was like, man, I already forgot all the interview questions. Yeah, so golf came into my life right before COVID, 2019, summer of 2019. My cousin and I went to a pitch and putt. He'd been playing for about a decade, and having a blast. It's flat pitch and putt, Sinaloa Golf Course in Simi Valley, out in SoCal. It's just cheering me on, showing me some of the ropes. Before that, all I'd done is gone to the driving range and had a bucket of beer with a buddy.
Right.
That was it. I thought golf was boring. Not into it at all. I thought it was too slow. And then we go and play this pitch and putt. I'm like, this is super fun. You hit one good shot, it kind of goes in the air, and I make a wisecrack comment, I'll beat you pretty soon. And then that's that older brother instinct. He's like, absolutely not. You will not beat me at golf. And that started it all
The
off.
relationship with your brother, I think, is one of my favorite parts of the last episode. So instead of just asking you run-of-the-mill questions, why don't you give me a little background on you and your brother's history before we even find out how it evolves into golf?
Yeah, so the person we're referring to is my brother, Tyler. He's actually my cousin, but older brother figure, super competitive. He played basketball, I wanted to play basketball. Like, whatever he was doing, I wanted to do that. And we've got about a 6-year age gap, so he's, kicking my butt in all these things.
6 years is a
And
lot.
then I grew. And then, so golf is the thing he just had on me, absolutely, right? So that time we play, I make that comment. He says, I'm never going to beat him. We're a little competitive.
Let's hear how that came from. How did you guys grow up to be so competitive? Because that's the follow-up question.
Oh my God. He was always doing sports, and I wanted the attention of him, and my older sister was a collegiate athlete. So to do that, I wanted to play sports as well as them. So I'm getting my butt kicked by all of their friends. And that just fuels the fire, right? So from family game night to any sport to golf, which is the hardest thing on earth to do.
But it's with everything.
Everything. Yeah, there's no breaks on it. So that very night, after playing Sinaloa and me thinking I am suddenly good at golf because I finally hit one straight, which we all fall into that, I make a remark that I'll beat him. He says, absolutely not, never. So a few drinks flow, and we throw a bet out there saying I will beat him in a calendar year of golf. He's like, you won't beat me in 9 holes or 18 calendar year. He's been golfing for almost 10 years, mind you. And his wife's like, lower that amount of money. So we put $100 down, year bet.
And what year was this?
2019 July. And golf just took over my life from there on out. Got my friends into it. I bought a starter set. I was fully in. I got a hand-me-down nicer set, so I gave that set to my friend so he would come play with me to practice to beat my cousin.
And you were just practicing.
Yeah.
What did that look like?
Bad. Very bad. The expectation that I should be good at something that I have no right being good at with no formal practice. I think going through that just roller coaster of getting way too frustrated, not happy with the results, and so toxic when we would play together, and just it would be such a competition of it's Happy Gilmore when it lands on the Giant's foot.
Yeah.
We would just look at each other with this shit-eating grin, play it as it lies. And I'm like, but I'm gonna break my wrist. Like, play it as it lies, because that could be a stroke. So, but we're having beers and whatnot. So these matches, when it started to get competitive, this isn't like, oh, he's playing 10 years. We're shooting the 70s. This is like, I beat you shooting 98 and you shot 105.
Right.
And we're coming like this. So it's nothing crazy, but just that it was such a good pinnacle to get me into golf.
So he was only a 90s golfer?
Yeah, he's such a better golfer than that, but we'll have too much fun on the course.
But at that time, he was confident enough, even scoring around those scores, to tell you, you'll never beat me.
Yeah, 100%. But also, that being said, we didn't give each other putts. We didn't give each other free drops. It was
How often would you play?
We would play when COVID hit. That was the big kick, because suddenly that was the only thing open to do.
Right.
So COVID hit. A lot of us were, either not working as much, just had some free time. He's in sales, so we were both in sales at the time. So Tuesday golf in COVID was cheap and open. So we were playing once a week at least, which he's got kids. That's a pretty impressive thing to do.
Yeah, it's hard.
Which was funny because you mentioned that, right? He's playing the 90s, saying he'll never beat me. And then his score starts dropping because he starts playing so much more.
Right.
Like, did I just move the goalpost? I needed him to stop playing. I needed to play without him, but he was starting to practice more than ever. Yeah, so it's pretty funny.
That's awesome. So you're playing that frequently, and then tell us about the date. I know you have the date in your
Yes,
in your memory
So
forever.
4th of July, we made that bet in Halloween, now that I'm remembering correctly. So it was in October. So July was when we started, and then that bet got formed when I got cocky a couple pitch and putt rounds later. So it was probably in October. So in July, not a year yet. COVID had already slowed down the world, but I'm like, we don't need to move the goalposts. We're getting enough golf in there. So 4th of July, that same pitch and putt, I got him. And then the rest of that 4th of July, we do a family barbecue. I couldn't miss a shot that day. We played basketball. Couldn't miss the whole day. Whatever we did that day, he's like, I'm just done with holidays and you, so we're not playing again. And then I was able to do it on an 18-hole course a couple weekends after. So I kept it all within. There was no question marks.
That's fine.
And now we've never looked back ever since. We still love to play all the time.
So you still love to play all the time. How competitive are you now? Are you guys both similar golfers?
I think I definitely get to play more now, and I think I'm in a much better headspace with golf, largely due to Random Golf Club Las Vegas out here.
Let's talk about that specifically. We talk about Random Golf Club all the time, but let's talk about headspace, because I don't know if we touch on this show as much as I want. The mental aspects of what was going on at the time, socially, societally, and in the game of golf. It was interesting because people were coming here to clear their headspace.
100%.
And you didn't necessarily do that at first until you met Random Golf Club. So explain that.
Yeah, happy accident. So you got to frame it. Over-competitive golfer is not very good. That's probably me in LA.
Right.
Loved to play, but took it way too seriously. Thought I should this, I should that. And that anyone who's been in the game for long enough realizes that's not how it works.
Correct.
You could shoot the career best one day. It means nothing the next day. So frame that. I move out to Las Vegas to be with my girlfriend out this way.
We're going to talk about as.
So I'm out here. Chase the girl out this way. My friends are out in LA. I don't know a lot of people out here. I'm still golfing, and she got into golf, which was fortunate, but I'm still over competitive and grumpy to golf with. And then meet Random Golf Club. They entered the picture, which is this approachable big community group of no one cares what you're doing. Just get out there and have a good time. And then you start to play meetup golf, which is a phrase me and JR say all the time when we're playing out here. JR, who's the ambassador of Random Golf Club.
Playing today, actually.
Yeah,
so let's
playing
talk
later
about
today.
Because you're explaining one that's actually happening in a
Yeah,
couple
I mean, we're
hours.
playing out here today, and it's this group that just started in a side group out of it that I met, and I formed my whole social setting around this group of people who were just having fun at golf and then getting better at it and then not tearing each other down on a bad shot and just rooting on everybody, but then still so competitive. I still want to beat you, Jed.
Right.
but I'm cheering on your good shots now, which was such a change of a thing.
It's a complete 180 change from the
Yeah.
way golf has ever been.
And when you're down on yourself, you got that person who's going to come give you a high five and pick you up. Shout out to Pete. He can't help it. Even when you hit the worst shot of your life, you're thinning it over the green.
Well, let's talk
giving
about
you the
the little fraternity within the club that you guys have formed. Let's talk about the group chat. Let's talk about all the guys.
Yeah, a few of them have been on the show. Dylan, JR, I think that's it so far. Nick's featured here and there. Really, all it was making friends out here with Random Golf Club. Of course, you've all got a common interest. Of course, you want to get out and play a little more.
Yep.
I love the mad scramble, but it's fun to get out and do a little foursome and play. And my phone's blown up one day with Pete, who's a member of Random Golf Club, who's just been improving like crazy. Pete texts you, me, and JR. But then he also texts you, me, and Dylan. And then he also texts JR, Dylan, and him and one other friend. And I've got like 8 group texts on my phone. I was like, there's no way. So I text a few of them like, who made all these? Like, oh, Pete did. He's getting tee times going. I'm like, love that. I want to play. Yes to all the tee times. We're done with this. We're putting one chat together. And it kind of just got a bunch of us who had maybe talked a handful of times into a constant group where it's just my group of friends out here
How
now.
many are in the group text? Because there was some fun things going on the night that the Knights won the championship. I believe it was with Pete, right?
JR was
somebody
here.
was at home heckling.
Yeah. I think it probably was Pete, but I think it's Pistol Pete, the Soju sensation Nick.
Yep.
The
other Nick.
Yeah. No, Dylan. JR, we got John, Steven, and yeah, I think that rounds us out. And then I'm not counting myself. So 7 of us in this chat.
That's fun. And you guys just go, how do these chats work every day? Or
well, it's turned
frequent?
It's actually morphed into something new. We started to do competitions with each other, twosomes versus each other, and then we turned into a match play challenge series. The Jabronius Maximus.
I love this. I know this.
Stephen Goforth at Kerfworks. You got to look up Kerfworks. It's his wood shop. Incredible stuff on Instagram. Kerfworks USA.
Shout out.
Kerfworks USA. He made a plaque with a Caesar Jabronius Maximus because Pete was calling people jabronis when they did like a bad shot. So now we have a match play series, and I'm honored to say I lost to Dylan on hole 10 of a 9-hole match recently at Cloud 9.
How fun.
He stuck it to 2 inches on a playoff hole, and now I hold the plaque. Plaque in a novelty putter.
That's funny.
Yeah, so I hold the Jabronius, but since every time someone's lost the match and they've held it, they started to play their best golf. So I've hit my best few rounds since I lost that match.
You guys have found a way to compete and encourage each other at the same time.
So we put strokes in play. We'll play here Durango. Durango, you can have your handicap. If you play Cloud 9, it's straight up.
Yeah.
So you've got varying skill levels. So it's perfect. It keeps it competitive. And one player will play, and you pick someone else in the chat to caddy for you.
Oh, so is that why you're out there with 3?
Yeah. So Nick was on my bag. I let you down. I should have shut out Dylan. Dylan got lucky. Didn't lead 1 hole the entire match, but I'm coming back for you. JR, I challenged next. So that's happening.
That's great.
But yeah, so we all get a caddy. We're all being idiots, reading each other's putts the wrong way, hoping to do our best, wiping clubs, and we're at Cloud 9, but having the best time doing it.
Well, and you guys you correspond in so many ways. Let's talk a little bit about why your account's called Barefoot Bandit, and then talk a little bit about what happened right before the first time we shot this a month and a half ago when you you played without that moniker.
Oh, yeah. So Barefoot.
We'll start from the beginning. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't remember exactly when it started kicking off the shoes to play golf, but I don't remember what it was. It was vacation or something. Probably a few too many drinks, frustrating around. I just wanted to flip a switch off in my brain and kick the shoes off. And obviously you buy golf shoes to have all this extra grip and all this extra tech. I'm like, I'm swinging so damn hard because I can't fall over. So I kicked my shoes off and I can't overswing anymore. I definitely lose some grip. But yeah, I just got so used to doing it.
More comfortable.
Yeah, I don't know. There's something relaxing about it. It felt like a vacation. I got some good pictures of literally being on vacation, of just doing it. getting all my friends to do it up in Mammoth on a bachelor party. Like, this is the most fun, ridiculous round. It's just such a silly thing. I was at a random golf club meetup, I believe, at Muni at Las Vegas golf course. And this dad and his daughter came up to me like, "Oh my God, that is so cool that you do that. I would love to do that." I'm like, dude, you just got to kick off your shoes. It's actually the most cost effective thing in golf.
That's such a hippie thing to say.
You just bring less equipment and it goes well. But yeah, I kicked it off, and then the whole Barefoot Bandit golf thing was kind of just a joke of there's so many golf brands out.
Right.
And I have no intention of making a golf brand. Nobody cares about what I'm doing, but I wanted a way to kind of track my progress because I couldn't tell if I was getting better. I couldn't tell if I was getting work or worse, putting in all this work.
Right.
So I was like, man, I kind of want to like journal this, but I kind of want to see what I'm doing and if I'm just swinging wrong. And I got a link on Amazon from the guys just saying, here's a tripod that's $10. Put your phone on it.
And that's how your content just
started.
So
I just started to do that on Instagram just for myself. And then a few people seemed to like it. And yeah, just going from there. To your other point, why I kind of stopped doing it.
Well, yeah, because you're a sneakerhead too, right?
Yeah, so I love golf shoes. That's the problem. I played basketball. I love shoes. And also, it's kind of silly to think about. So I got fitted for clubs probably a year and a half, 2 years ago, which is everyone should get fitted once you are at a certain point in golf. It makes sense. It fits your body, your swing. I got fitted with shoes on, understandably, inside on like a sim. So sure. I got fitted with shoes on, which are about, half inch high.
All you had to do was kick them off.
Well, the problem was now I got fitted with shoes on, and that's the angle of my club. And I'm like, man, I'm hitting some of my clubs really poorly. And obviously it's you, but like, wait a minute. Am I too short now for my golf club? So now I'll choke down about that distance on my clubs barefoot. Played the exact same way now, but for a while I was like, do I need to play shoes on now? Wow, I really just kicked myself with this whole Instagram thing. But yeah, so for a while I had to kick the shoes back on.
Well, when did you show up here when you got heckled, or maybe it was down at the golf center?
Oh my God, it's the last couple meetups because I was so excited. I got these new Jordan 1s. I wore them for my sister's wedding, so I couldn't wear them at all. And I got the golf shoes, so I kind of snuck that in there. So I had to wait till the wedding to wear them. So wedding happens, and I'm like, oh God, I get to go golf in them. We go to the last RGC meetup, and a few people who I might have met once were like, oh, I thought you were the
the barefoot guy.
I don't like you as much. And this is like the most inclusive group. And I'm just like, I don't really enjoy your presence as much now. Like, I've never been somebody so taken back that my feet weren't out. I was like, what the?
That's hilarious.
Yeah, so yeah, it's got its upsides. I was filming and on the course here, and the only time it happened, definitely stepped on a fire ant. I'm like, I guess I deserve that.
Ooh, yeah.
But we still went with like that wasn't a good call. But that's for being an idiot barefoot in the desert. But upsides and downsides.
That's so fun. Let's talk about the star of your operation, Ashley. Let's talk about how you guys met, and because she's turned into a golf nut too.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, Ashley got into golf right before. I think we did a couple pitch and putts before I moved out to Vegas. But yeah, she totally caught the golf bug. Brett, who used to be the ambassador for Las Vegas and is for Phoenix now, Brett always used to call it like the big cheat in life. I figured it out. I just happen to have a spouse who I love to golf with. And now that I have a better attitude, she likes to golf with me, I think.
Yeah.
But he's like, oh, yeah, because what happens is you've got an open weekend, which is rare with everyone's busy schedules in life. I mean, it just happened yesterday. Ash hasn't loved her golf game lately. And then JR texts me to golf today. Literally today, and we're hanging out home yesterday and we had no plans, and then I threw on the FedEx Cup And then she looks at the TV. She's like, I could do that. Let's golf tomorrow. So I'm like, yes. So every time we have some free time, it's like, you know what we should do? Golf. Do you want to golf twice? I'm like, I guess.
That's
I suppose
awesome.
we can.
Yeah, I know she loves to be out here, and she's got an Angel Park story that's a lot of fun from last year. We ran a promotion where we gave away a Vegas Golden Knights hockey jersey. Ashley wins, which is kind of burying the lead, or is jumping to the end of the story at first, but it's a great story. So let's tell it backwards. Let's tell it from how
Yeah.
things started.
I think the promotion was if you played Cloud9, you got to put your name in for a raffle.
Correct.
And I am LA boy. I'm still a LA Kings fan for hockey. That was my favorite sports team growing up. Can't leave them. So Ash like, no, put your name in for the raffle for the Knights jersey. Mind you, we just drove to Angel Park. We're kind of getting ready to move. We were in a crowded, smaller apartment.
Yeah.
Things are cluttered. There's no room on the walls. She looks up and thinks we're winning the Angel Park named jersey, not a jersey of your customization.
Right above center behind the golf shop, the desk.
She thinks we're winning this
Is
behemoth.
a huge Angel Park.
And our whole drive's
jersey
like, we
framed.
need to
It's very
declutter.
big.
Yeah, we need to declutter the house. You have too much stuff. We walk into Angel Park. She's like, I need that. I'm like, there's no way.
So you're just she's encouraging you to play for more coupons in the
So
box.
she ends up, of course, winning it and thinking we've won this massive jersey, only to find out she got to do a custom jersey.
Yeah, weren't you driving home from LA or something? in
We
bad
were on
traffic? What was that
we were on a
story?
horrible road trip. She got sick, was feeling awful, and I mean just having the worst day. And then got the call. She's like, "Hello, oh, I won," and just total mood change
I
like
love that
that.
part of
So
the
it's
story.
like, okay. So now I'm like, did we win the? She's like, no, I get to make my own. I'm like, thank God.
Oh, so yeah, that's when she also was
Yeah,
told
she's like, oh, thank God. So I'm like, so I've been dreading that we were gonna win because we'd play there for date night.
you wouldn't have any place to
I'm
put
like
it
this,
or
and I'm
want to put it.
Yeah, and then the rest of my stuff's gonna have to get out of the house. Exactly. Yeah, I don't want it in the house, and we wouldn't have a place for it. But yeah, so she got the jersey. But oh yeah, since our recording not working, I went to Iceland and back and we got engaged. So
Yes,
yeah.
tell us a little bit about that trip. The pictures were insane.
24 hours of daylight. I can tell you we really wanted to golf. We just didn't have
Never
it in the
played golf.
time. We didn't get a chance to play golf there. But yeah, got to go to Iceland for a week. It was incredible. Endless sights. Couldn't recommend it enough. But yeah, got engaged out there.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. But yeah, we wanted to golf so bad. They have all the advertisements for midnight golf, and it's just bright out the entire time. So you're just delirious. But next time for sure.
You brought up turning the FedEx Cup on. One of the things we like to ask is, what are your viewing habits or golf consumption? Maybe
Sure.
It's such a different generation. It just used to be sitting down and watching the majors, and if you were a diehard, you'd watch every week. But with all the YouTube information and
Yeah.
things to watch, and how do you consume your golf?
I think I started off with, I think golf is boring. I don't want to play golf. Then I played golf and quickly found out, like everyone else is finding out in the world, golf's amazing. That one shot's a feeling you can't replace, but I don't want to watch golf. Golf's boring. I'm not going to watch golf. And then you start to appreciate how hard golf is, and you see these pros, you're like, there's no way. And
so you start watching a
so
little
I
bit
started
more
watching,
often.
yeah, and then I just fell in love with Spieth's game and that he's an absolute head case on the course, and I identified with that. I got so good at hitting shots out of the because I'd always put myself there, but then I felt confident once I was there. So I wouldn't feel confident on a wide open tee box, but I'd feel confident off of rocks and pine needles.
Right.
So then seeing a pro do that, I'm like, this makes sense. There's a picture of him with his caddy and looking at Michael. It's like, I think I have a window, and it's just a forest, and there's no. But you can relate to that, right? As an amateur golfer, so. Now I definitely watch golf and keep up with it. Definitely watch the majors. Now the Masters feels like a holiday.
Yes.
We do a little a fantasy draft pool for all the majors. So we, draft a team of golfers. Your top 4 go through. So yeah, now we're all into it. Watch Full Swing.
Yep.
And then the Bob to Sports guys. Right when I was getting into golf, they were just, I think, getting into it too. So watching these guys make, fools of themselves, but it's so honest and fun. I'm like, oh, like that's the stuff you want to root and cheer on. Now they've blown up
That's who
huge.
Rocky fell in love with and helped them kind of get to where they're at with the Golf Fathers. Bob does sports just as much as Eric did with Random Golf Club, moved the needle
Yeah.
socially.
Yeah, 100%. So now I watch all of it. Now I can't put it down. So yeah, I put on the FedEx Cup immediately yesterday. I'm like, well, it's on, so I have to watch Jordan and just hope with a wing and a prayer he gets it done.
I love that. I love that. All right, let's talk about in your last 4 years falling in love with golf. What are some of the things that you didn't like or maybe don't still like about golf? Is there something you change about golf?
Yeah, there's a couple things. I think one thing that always frustrated me was I always had this goal of I'm going to break 100, right? When I was starting, which I thought was all a great spot to get at, or whatever your goal may be. I just couldn't stand people just, I guess, cheating or lying on their score or lying to themselves. Obviously, it's you versus you, and it doesn't matter. But we've all been paired up with that random guy who's shot 10 shots out of the bunker, and he's like, "Yeah, put me down for bogey." I'm like, but
Yeah, that is
I'm out
that's
here practicing, and it just hurts.
it's one of the most annoying things I think in golf for most people until you get to the mindset and I've been meeting these people more and more where they'd just rather not play with those people, but they don't have a problem with them. They don't people gravitate towards different things
Yeah.
and so people who want to keep score, they just tend to run, in tighter packs.
Yeah. And I think score's so important for knowing what you're doing, what your progress is. That's kind of it's your measure of how you're doing, but it's not everything. But it's yeah, I don't know. Just, I'm so honest about mine. Like now the goal for me is to break 80 and I'm really close doing it, but I know when I do it, for me, it's going to be so honest. I've got all
Make it mean more.
I've got all the guys on the phrase of, we putt pars. I'm cool with gimmies on hey, you shot a couple over, it's stop the bleeding. No worries, man. I know you're gonna make that. I got confidence in you tapping that in. But if you're going for a birdie putt and a par putt and people scoop them up and pick them up, like those are the hardest ones to make. Those
They
make your
are the
knees
hardest
shake.
ones to
Yeah,
make.
those make you, like, those will keep you up at night if you miss the birdie tap in or you miss that par putt that you should. But that's golf.
Yes.
That little inch is worth as much as a 300-yard drive.
Yeah.
So, I know when I do it for me, it's going to be a big deal. And I think Ashley's the same way of she'll hit off of everything. She broke her 8-iron hitting off
Hey,
a
that's
rock.
it lies.
Yeah, which I'm like, okay, we got it. We'll keep the pace. That's the important thing. Like, don't go looking for your ball for 20 minutes. Take your drops where you need. We'll keep our pace, but like, we're both pretty honest with golf. So she just broke 100 by a significant margin.
Congratulations.
Yeah, shot at 93. And that was on. I'm like, when that
That's
happened,
fun. That's fun to go that low the first time you break.
and then we
100.
celebrate
That's
so hard
encouraging.
after.
Yeah.
Exactly, because it happened. So I think that's one of them. Then other than that, just being more inclusive, just getting more people into golf, making it like approachable. That's the biggest thing. I can't stand the snobbiness. Like, that's why I think so many of us gravitate to Angel Park and what you guys are doing, because it's not just familiar faces, but it really is like a community hub here that I think is unique to Vegas. Because there's a nice course every block, right? You've got options. Competition is probably hotter than ever, I'm sure, on your guys' end, but everyone keeps coming back to Angel Park for a reason. I think that's it.
Well, yeah, I appreciate you saying that, just because that has been the goal, is accessibility, and just trying to be encouraging and welcoming of all different kinds of golfers. There are golfers who are out here to just be silly and have fun, and there are golfers out here who are just out here to drink and heckle each other. And there's all sorts of different golfers, and they're all so interesting, and they end up overlapping and some don't, but that's the point. The point is we try to get as many, because my goal is to get people to come to Angel Park.
Yep.
We want all of the different kinds of aspects and accessibility to Cloud9, which is, again, back to your point about the shorter shots being important. It's the best place in town to learn. It's not even in question. So that is what we're trying to do, and I appreciate you saying that. What's your
100%.
favorite thing about golf?
Favorite thing about golf? Oh God. Man, I can't get away from it. Obviously when you hit a good shot, you can't really replace that
The
feeling.
feeling of the perfect shot.
Yeah, you're always chasing that. God, I mean it's so many things. Just getting to be outside for a socially approved 4 hours of just like, yeah, I'm gonna go golf. Like, of course, go have a time. Like, I'm just outside having the best day ever.
Yeah.
And you're doing that every time. Yeah, I think I mean hitting the great shot, the friends I made from it. It's just so many things. I think the equipment's interesting, the pros are interesting. Yeah, all of it. It is the craziest, most mind-numbing game. The mental challenge, I think it just challenges you to look at yourself for flaws and all. I don't know which LPGA player it was recently, but the clip blew up, and I thought it was the best description of golf I've ever heard. Was that, like, you have to practice like golf is the most important thing on earth to you, and then you have to go play like it doesn't matter at all to you.
Isn't that wild?
And it's just like, man, that is so true. And I'm out here alone when it's so windy. I'm here every day, and Kareem's ready with a bucket at front because
you are the true diehard. Kareem has a nickname for you, something like Bad Weather Kyle.
yeah, I can't help it. The wind just gets going.
You need to get out and practice.
If I want to go out and play, I think it's just a good relaxer. But yeah, I'll just want to go out, hit some balls, and work at it. And then you get on that first tee, you're like, just don't think about the 4 hours that I thought about this.
You know how insane that makes you? Like you're in the top 1% of an already kind of insane group of people who work that hard to enjoy it that much. And you're out here just grinding
and then your eyes twitching as you hit a triple on the first hole, and surely it will get better. And then anyone who's played Angel Park, I'll be playing Mountain, I'll suck on the first hole, and then you go into the monster on hole 2.
But you've totally found a way to turn around your competitive drive, but also make it healthy, right? Like,
yeah,
because
yeah.
this is something that you enjoy doing, which is bananas to me.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's a lot. That's been a slow burn. Not throwing clubs, not throwing a fit.
We're gonna get to that.
I think right now, my fit at this point, and I kid you not, in this voice is like, I'd like to break a club right now. Like, about that.
We might have just answered the last question of the show.
I'm like, I've never done that. I was like, I'm very mad right now. That's me. I'm like, at one point I'd like to just eliminate saying anything, but I'm like, I don't want to just scream.
Now, did you learn that when you were out working so hard to think about how not to?
Absolutely not at all.
How do you think that clicked?
Oh no, I know exactly how that clicked. My girlfriend, now fiance, said, I don't want to golf with you if you're going to be like this. And that's all the click I really needed. Yeah. So I'm like, I golf with you more than anyone in my life.
Can't lose this.
Yeah, this is clearly a good thing. I was like, oh God, yeah. So just a tweak of an attitude change, but like, it's not that big of a deal. Obviously, we're on to do well, but no, that's it. That's 100%.
That is so great. I'm glad that we got, even though we might have left a little bit of backstory out. This is fun we may even have some of the better guests come on again so we can get even deeper, because I love talking about how you're mentally gone through all of this.
Yeah.
And golf has given you something that you may not have even realized, but that is kind of a gift, it seems like.
Totally. Yeah, no, I think, and another person who got me into golf was my neighbor growing up, and he's gone through a super similar journey. He's older than me, similar to an older brother figure also, and golf has changed his attitude on so many things, because I think we're so over competitive, and there's a certain dial to that of, don't get me wrong, I always want to win everything I'm doing,
right?
But just turning that down to being your best performer and most fun person to be around, and that person who we should play again next week, like, you want that coming back, right? So, and being that positive force on the course, like, that's, and then you're playing well on top of it, that all comes with it. Like, the more you try to grab golf, the more it slips through your fingers. And that happens with life. And it's like, it's definitely a gift.
Well, you are one of the best local voices, I think, from an attitude standpoint that we could have on. And I really appreciate it, man. This has been fun.
It's because I threw a fit on the last episode. It's when I flipped the table. We had to re-record.
It was ugly, man. I thought you were gonna swing. I was scared.
Yeah, exactly.
So in all seriousness, thank you. And I think it's time for the second part of the show, which we call our par five. The closing episode or the closing segment of the show
Sweet.
is where we ask the same five questions. You may have changed your answers in a month, maybe you haven't. But what's your favorite golf movie?
Favorite golf movie? Probably. It hasn't changed. Still Happy Gilmore, probably.
Yeah, tell us why.
I think Happy Gilmore is the most approachable one. Caddyshack now since I got into golf, but Happy Gilmore is definitely just my generation. Nothing like watching the fist fight with Bob Barker.
Right?
No, it's just you eat pieces of shit for breakfast was an insult that was constantly in the constantly in the pocket. Right. So yeah, definitely Happy Gilmore.
Yeah, that's so fun. And the interesting times people change what their favorite is fun. And yeah,
we need a new golf movie.
We do. It's about time.
We're due.
Yeah, it's been at least 15 years since
we're due. We're due.
10 maybe. I'm not sure. Except JR pointed out something good. He said Netflix Full Swing is his favorite movie. And there's something to be said about that. We've had people say
he's just such a purist.
Some of the
He's a PGA loyalist. That guy.
That's funny. Question number 2: what's your favorite club in your bag and why?
Favorite club in the bag. Probably my putter. I got an Odyssey 10 2-ball putter. When I'm playing my best, my putting's just on. Putting's probably where I'm most comfortable. One of the courses I got to play a lot back in LA was Rustic Canyon, which is a links golf course. So it's those massive, huge greens just laid over rolling hills. So I got to learn on all these triple breaking putts, and I thought that was the most fun thing. And I got just really confident with that. So I'd say probably the strength of my game is my putting, which that infuriates everyone for the most part. So
that's the most desirable trait.
If
right?
if I can just punch it into the fairway and then get on to where I can putt, it's usually a pretty good day.
Yep. Yeah, that's cool. Putter, we don't get putter very often. Question number 3: what's your dream foursome? So you know this one. Any 4 people, or any 3 people. Who are you picking to play with? And then we'll get to where you're going to play.
Okay. Probably dream foursome. I mean, playing with Tyler, who got me into golf, my dad, and then, I mean, probably I did this for my birthday. I had this foursome of his Chandler, my best friend back home, Tyler, who got me into golf, and playing with my dad, who I didn't even know liked golf till I got into golf, and he's like, "Yeah, I got clubs." I'm like, "What do you mean?" But with that group, we played for my birthday, and no matter how that first hole went, we all cracked a beer immediately, just had a great day. Just picking each other up, just having the best time.
So you just had your dream foursome recently.
Yeah, and I'd run it back any day of the week for sure.
Well, see, you guys should. Another fun thing that's happening with some of these answers is things you could do. You guys should set that up as a yearly trip. Go pick a course and turn it into a chance to all hang out. I think that'd be a great idea.
Oh yeah. We've gotten to play some cool spots. Ashley, my dad, and Tyler got to play in Punta Cana in the Dominican, where Joel Damon won.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we got to play there, which we definitely didn't feel like our games lived up to that course. That was
beautiful.
One and only time I've ever had a professional caddy, aside from the jabroniest matches. I rather have Nick on the bag for sure. He knows my game much better than the random person you have to tip hundreds of dollars. But yeah, we've got to do that. So we'll definitely have a few. I'd love to play Pebble one day. That'd be one. I think that goes into the next question.
Well, yeah. So where would you play? You'd probably pick Pebble Beach?
Yeah, if money is no option, Pebble. Yeah. Pebble would be awesome, but honestly, if I just had a free weekend, go back to like Moore Park, play Rustic Canyon.
We've had a few people say they just want to go back to their home course.
Just go play Rustic with my dad, my cousin, my buddy, and just go rip some through the day.
That's incredible. I love all these answers. Question number 4: what's your aiming fluid? So today at 1:00, what are you taking out in the cooler?
Coors Light is often it's just, I think, a stable. It's stable throughout the round. It's always
So you
there.
try to just drink one slowly, constantly, or maybe not necessarily slowly.
Not necessarily one. There's
No, that's what I meant.
yeah.
One
So
after
I mean, if
another.
we're gonna have a cocktail in the course, probably a Jameson ginger.
Yeah.
But no, I'll just be ripping Coors Lights through
So
the
you
whole
like
round.
to just slowly have a little bit of alcohol running through your system.
I mean, slowly depending on the temperature. They're pretty light. They'll go pretty quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll definitely go through a solid number of them through the course,
Do
but
you
they're
think
not
that
that
helps
heavy.
or hurts you around?
I mean, I'm sure it hurts, but I'm sure it's gotta hurt. But it's. I was joking with a buddy. I think a lot of people are going through this, getting into golf as adults, right? And playing all these different sports in high school. And my buddy's on the football team, who I love to golf with now. It's like, man, dude, we should have golfed in high school. I'm like,
Yeah.
Aaron, you would have never golfed in high school. Also, we couldn't drink when we golfed in high school.
Correct.
It's like, I didn't even think about that. But, it's not the same. It's competitive golf at a young age versus us going to go out with a cart of hooligans with a cooler full of drinks. You got to admit is a different thing.
Almost polar opposites.
Yeah, so like, man, I wish we were doing this in high school, man. Like, that's not the same. Yeah, so probably Coors Light. I got to say, though, I wish if courses had Pacifico, that would be my go-to.
Yeah.
But no one seems to have it. So, yeah, if I could replace the Cerveza.
Yeah, I love that.
Go a little Pacifico.
All right, question number 5. We already foreshadowed it a little bit. Let's talk about uncomfortable things like anger on the golf course.
Yeah.
You said that you don't throw clubs and you don't break clubs.
Yes.
And that is kind of the basis of the question. Did you ever?
No, tossing clubs for sure. Oh, yeah, we've all, 100%. No, don't do that anymore.
Do
Yeah.
you swear? Do you?
Yeah, absolutely. I try not to as much because that usually means the round's getting away from me. Let out a good little F-bomb here and there. Usually it's like Anchorman-esque stupid comments at a missed putt.
Those are my favorite ones.
If I lip out a putt, I'll definitely call it a dirty pirate under my breath and catch my playing partner off guard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell it to go to its home on island or something very stupid.
Right.
Yeah, tell it it has bad hair. It's just, none of it makes sense.
You have bad hair.
Yeah, just all stupid movie jabs.
Yeah.
That's probably all I got.
Thank you, man. I love it.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, that's fun. Kyle, thank you again for coming on. I had a ball.
Oh, it was happy to come back. And there's a fan in here, guys, so it's very approachable.
We have a fan now.
15 degrees less.
Those who have been on the show the last couple of months, I apologize that we didn't have this previously.
I would
But we're
thank
moving up
them.
in the world.
They did a service. They were on the show during a heat wave.
Yes, it
Yeah.
was difficult times. Actually, I believe starting next week, we might even have some AC units in here. So, yeah, slowly but surely, we're moving on up.
I can't wait for our third episode.
Let's go.
Thanks, man.
Cheers, Kyle.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
for watching. We'll see you next week. Till then, hit them straight from your friends at Angel Park. Cheers.
Thanks, guys. Sweet.
Even better than before. So good.